Lunar 25 spacecraft has apparently crashed into the moon after it spun into an uncontrolled orbit.
In a notable event, Russia's 12.5 billion rubles, over $130 million endeavor for its first moon mission in 47 years has encountered a setback. The Luna 25 spacecraft, a significant element of the country's aspirations to rekindle its historical space achievements, experienced an unexpected loss of control, resulting in a collision with the lunar surface. The launch occurred on August 10, 2023, from the Vostochny Cosmodrome using a Soyuz 2 rocket equipped with a Fregat upper stage. On August 16th, the probe successfully entered lunar orbit, setting its sights on a planned landing come August 21st. The state space agency, ROSCOSMOS, reported that communication with the spacecraft was severed at 11:57 GMT on Saturday. On August 19th, ROSCOSMOS reported an abnormal situation when the lander was directed to transition into a pre-landing orbit. The initial intention was for a gentle landing to take place on Monday. According to Roscosmos Director General Yuri Borisov, a maneuvering engine failed to shut down, operating for 127 seconds instead of the planned 84 seconds. Subsequently, the probe met with a crash on the lunar surface due to this maneuver failure, resulting in a trajectory intersecting the moon rather than the intended elliptical orbit with a minimum distance of 18 kilometers. Roscosmos stated that communication with the spacecraft was lost 47 minutes after the engine firing began. Efforts on both August 19th and 20 to re-establish contact and locate the spacecraft proved unsuccessful, prompting the formation of a commission to investigate the crash. A statement from Roscosmos explained that the spacecraft deviated into an unanticipated trajectory, leading to its eventual impact on the lunar surface. In response, a specialized interdepartmental commission has been established to conduct a thorough investigation into the factors contributing to the unfortunate loss of the Luna 25 spacecraft. Roscosmos provided additional insight via a Telegram post, stating that an abnormal situation occurred on the automatic station during its operation, which prevented the intended maneuver from being executed according to the prescribed parameters. This event marks a setback for Russia's recent lunar exploration ambitions. Pavel Luzin, a knowledgeable authority on Russian space endeavors, had previously emphasized the significance of Luna 25 as a means for Russia to showcase its capabilities independently of Western involvement. The recent mission failure has highlighted the diminished influence of Russia's space activities compared to its prominent role during the Cold War era. In those times, Moscow achieved monumental feats, such as launching the world's first satellite, Sputnik 1, into Earth's orbit in 1957. Additionally, Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin's historic journey marked the first human spaceflight in 1961. The mission in question aimed to be an unprecedented achievement by becoming the initial spacecraft to touch down on the moon's southern pole. This region holds potential deposits of frozen water and valuable elements, which researchers consider to be of high importance. The Luna 25 mission had a significant objective. It aimed to touch down near the moon's southern pole, gather geological samples, and transmit data to identify signs of water or its fundamental components. Such findings could open up the potential for establishing a human settlement on the moon in the future. However, the primary goal was to demonstrate Russia's capability to launch a lunar landing mission. This goal was especially important due to past mission failures, changes in scientific leadership over time, delays caused by sanctions imposed by Western nations, and the current isolation resulting from the conflict in Ukraine. The news of Luna 25's loss received relatively modest attention on Russian state television. It was positioned as the 8th item in the noon broadcast and was covered for only 26 seconds. This was after stories about fires in Tenerife and a 4-minute segment on a professional holiday for Russian pilots and crews. Russia has been in a competition with India, where the Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft is scheduled for a moon landing this week. On a broader scale, Russia is also in competition with China and the United States, both of which have ambitious lunar exploration plans. India's Chandrayaan-3 is set to land on the moon on August 23rd, stated the Indian Space Research Organization ISRO on social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter. Around the same time, news about the Luna 25 incident emerged. Anatoly Zak, the individual behind the website Russian SpaceWeb, which closely monitors Russian space programs, noted that the flight control system was a vulnerable aspect that needed multiple improvements. Zak mentioned that Russia had taken on a more ambitious moon landing attempt without first conducting a simpler orbital mission. This approach contrasts with the customary sequence followed by the Soviet Union, the United States, China, and India. And due to Russia's actions in Ukraine, there has been growing skepticism about about the potential collaboration between Russia and Western countries in space endeavors. Despite Russia's intention to continue utilizing the International Space Station until 2028, the European Space Agency has opted against participating in collaborative ventures concerning lunar and Martian exploration. The success of the Luna 25 landing could have opened doors for additional lunar missions by Russia. Up to this point, safe lunar landings have only been accomplished by Russia, the United States, and China. Moreover, scientists in Russia have expressed recurring dissatisfaction with the space program. They've raised concerns about inadequate management, the pursuit of impractical grand space projects, instances of corruption, and a decline in the rigor of Russia's scientific education system since the post-Soviet era. In the years following the Soviet Union, Russia encountered setbacks with two failed space landing missions, Mars 96 in 1996 and Phobos Grunt in 2011. Both missions resulted in crash landings in the Pacific Ocean. In the early 2010s, Russia decided on the Luna 25 mission targeting the Moon's south pole. While Luna 25 did manage to depart Earth's orbit, its recent failure means that another country might claim the honor of collecting samples from the frozen water scientists believe exists at the lunar south pole. The effects of this failed mission on Russia's lunar program are not immediately clear. The country had planned multiple missions in the upcoming years, including Luna 26, Luna 27, and more. These plans might now be uncertain or could face delays. Vitaly Igorov mentioned, "The future of the upcoming launches like Luna 26, Luna 27, and others is now uncertain. Even before the accident, they were scheduled for launch no earlier than 2027, and now the timelines could be postponed or even canceled." According to Vitaly Igorov, an analyst specializing in Russia on space activities, despite the mission's unfortunate end, it did achieve some positive outcomes. Luna 25 showed important progress. It flew toward the moon, carried out orbit correction, and tested onboard electronics and scientific tools, he conveyed to the AP. It even managed to collect some small scientific data during the flight and from the lunar orbit. It also sent photos of the moon. Russian cosmonautics was not at this level before, but then an error occurred somehow. The recent lunar mission marked Russia's return to lunar exploration after a hiatus since 1976 when it was part of the Soviet Union. ROSCOSMOS, Russia's space agency, aimed to demonstrate its capability to transport payloads to the moon and secure reliable access to its surface. According to Igorov, this experience is crucial for Roscosmos. It will not be able to talk with China on equal terms because China has already 3 successful landings on the moon, while Roscosmos has none, he said. Roscosmos will lag starkly behind the Chinese lunar program. The impact of sanctions stemming from Russia's actions in Ukraine has made it more challenging for the nation's space program to access Western technology. At first, Luna 25 was planned to include a small moon rover, but analysts decided to eliminate this feature to enhance the craft's reliability by reducing its weight. Scientists are particularly intrigued by the lunar south pole, as they suspect that the craters there, which are always in shadow, might hold water. The frozen water within these craters could potentially be converted by future explorers into breathable air and fuel for rockets. In the midst of the disappointment caused by the recent crash, it's important to remember how tough space exploration can be. Even small mistakes or technical issues can lead to unexpected outcomes. These setbacks, though disheartening, offer valuable lessons that space agencies can use to improve their upcoming missions. Despite this setback, Russia's journey in space continues. With decades of experience as pioneers, they have plans for more missions. This incident reminds us that space exploration is a risky and complex venture, requiring precise planning to ensure success. So what do you think about this? Let us know in the comments. We would love to hear them. With that said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more.